Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another session of English online classes. After a long time, we are all coming back together, right? Hope you are all doing fine. You are all safe. Be safe always, okay, and stay healthy. Hmm? So let's begin a new session today, and we are going to deal with a very beautiful lesson from the uh, book called Moments. Okay, and as you have seen, there is one set of decorations that I have done around me. Okay, there are some leaves over here, and there is one leaf over here also. Okay, so why have I done such a decoration? Because this represents these things represent what the lesson for today is going to be about. Okay, it's about The Last Leaf by O. Henry. Okay, a very beautiful lesson by O. Henry. So I'm going to share how O. Henry is going to look, and also I'll be sharing the lesson, the chapter also. Okay, so this is O. Henry. As you can see, a very handsome looking chap, right? Okay, this is O. Henry, and his real name is William Sidney Porter. Okay, William Sidney Porter, and his pen name or pseudonym is O. Henry. He uses that name to write all his novels and short stories and all the other things that he has written. Okay, so he was born on September 11, 1862, and he died on June 5th, 1910. He was better known by his pen name O. Henry, as you all know, was an American short story writer. Okay, he was an American short story writer. Porter was born in Greensboro, North Carolina. His stories are known for their surprise endings and witty narration. Potter also wrote poetry and non-fiction, like essays and all the other things. Okay. So here it is said that all his stories has a surprise ending. Yes. Here too, we have got a very surprise ending for this lesson. Okay. For this short story also, they have got a very surprise ending. So we have to wait for the ending. And the lesson is called The Last Leaf. Okay, and very simple language. No much, there is no, there are not much difficult words or anything like that. If you read it, you will very easily understand the lesson also. And very interesting lesson and a very surprise ending. It will amaze you at all. Okay. So The Last Leaf is a short story by William Sidney Porter, that is O. Henry. It was published in 1970, 1907, not 70, 1907, in his collection, The Trimmed Lamb. Okay, another story. It was the collection of short stories, which was called The Trimmed Lamb and Other Story. The story is set in Greenwich Village during a pneumonia epidemic. We are also going through an epidemic right now, corona epidemic, right? Just like that, in the old days, there was a pneumonia epidemic. Before they found medicines for pneumonia and all, it was considered to be an epidemic because it was being transferred from one person to the another, and several people were falling for this disease, and some of them were dying because of this disease because they didn't have any medicines. Okay, so this story happens in such a period. An epidemic, a pneumonia epidemic was going on, and the story happens at that time. Okay, so it's about a last leaf of an ivy creeper. What is an ivy creeper? You will ask, right? Huh? So you might be seeing the ivy creeper right now. Ivy creeper. Poison ivy, there is different types of ivies. You might have seen these type of leaves. Have you seen it? Okay, these type of leaves, and they will be having these types of leaves, and they will climb on the wall. It will creep on the wall. Okay, so they are called creepers because they climb, they stick onto the wall and they climb, and they grow with the help. They cannot. Sometimes if they don't have anything to climb, what they will do is they will grow on the ground itself. They will spread on the ground. They will creep on the ground and they will grow over there. They need some support. Sometimes you might see that they are creeping upon trees, sometimes branches. If you put a stick, money plant and all, if you put a stick, they will creep on that stick. And then if you tie threads or twines across and crisscross or anything like that, if you make it as a canopy, it will grow like a canopy. So you can make it creep in whatever way you want. But if unattended, they will creep on its own. Wherever they find a place, they will creep upon it. Some other trees, okay, like that. So they are called creepers. So they creep on walls and trees and whatever they can get. Okay. What they can get, they will creep on that. So they are called ivy creepers. So the last leaf is about the leaf of an ivy creeper. Okay. So let's see into this lesson. And this lesson is a type of inspirational story. Okay. It inspires people. Okay. So the last leaf deals with as I told you, it's a very inspirational story. And the three characters that they are there in this lesson are Sue, John C, and Berman, main characters. Okay, so let's go straight away into the lesson and see what happens in the by O. Henry. Sue and John C, two young artists, shared a small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house. John C fell very seriously ill in November. She had pneumonia. See the spelling of pneumonia? It starts with P, then Neumonia. Okay, so mind that. Okay, so be very careful with your spellings. So I checked all your papers, previous papers, and I found that many of you are making mistakes. But why you are all making mistakes in spelling is that because you are not reading the textbooks properly. If you read the textbooks, if you see the words, you will never spell it wrong. Okay, pneumonia, spelling of pneumonia, it starts with P and Neumonia. So it's pronounced pneumonia. So you have to bring your lips round your lips after N. Pneumonia. That is pneumonia. Okay. Why the P? Because it's I don't know why the P, but I can say that why P is over there because pneumonia is a word that is being taken from another language. I think most probably it is Latin. Okay, and the spelling of pneumonia might be also taken from the language Latin. So it might be like that. But French or Latin, I don't know which one it is. So that's why pneumonia. So she had pneumonia. She would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window. You, a friend, became very worried. She sent for the doctor. Although he came every day, there was no change in John C's condition. We are introduced to the two characters, Sue and John C. They were two young artists. They were artists. Chitragaranma. Okay. Shared a small flat. So they were friends. They were also roommates, as well as they were following the same profession. They were artists and they were sharing a flat, small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house. So one landlord is there and he has rented most of the rooms in his house. So and these two were staying in one of the flats in that old house. John C fell very seriously ill in November. So during the pneumonia epidemic in November, one of the roommates, that is John C, she also contracted pneumonia and she fell ill, seriously ill. She had pneumonia. She would always lie in her bed without moving because it's a pandemic. Just like how epidemic, it was an epidemic, just like how our mentalities are right now. Okay, in the beginning of Corona, we were all really afraid, right? Huh? We were drained of our courage. Once you contract Corona, it was like you might die. We were really afraid of that, right? But after some times, when people understood that you don't have to be afraid of Corona like this, because we could be safe if we take care of our cleanliness, right? If we are if we are clean and healthy, there is nothing to be afraid of. That's how people started to have courage, and they started to go out, and they started not to be afraid of coronaviruses and all like that. But if we are careless, if we miss something in our daily routine, like not cleaning properly or going out without any protection or anything like that, mask and gloves and sanitizers, we don't use that or all, we will succumb or we will be contracting viruses, and then the virus will attack our body, and obviously our health will deteriorate, and though we are also putting other family members into danger, right? So we are also dragging them into danger with our bad behavior. Got it? So just like that, in those days, when they were in an epidemic and they didn't have any medicine or they didn't have any solution for that problem, they were really afraid of that. So once a person contracts a pneumonia, he believed that he certainly is going to die. Just like that, Johnsy also felt that she was going to die. She would not do anything at all. Courage was draining day by day. She would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window, nothing else. Sue, her friend, became very worried. This worried Sue. She sent for the doctor. Although he came every day, there was no change in Johnson's condition. So the doctor, she sent for the doctor. She called the doctor. She asked the doctor to come and visit Sue, sorry, Johnsy, so that she can get better. But the doctor was coming every day, but still, Johnson's condition was deteriorating. It was going uh, down. It was not at all having any positive reaction, because she was always depressed. Although he came every day, there was no change in Johnson's condition. One day, the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying Johnson?" So the doctor asked Sue, because he was coming daily and he was finding that there is no change in the condition in the condition of John C. He asked Sue that is anything worrying John T? Is she having any problem in her life? No, replied Sue. But why do you ask? There is nothing like that. Then why are you asking this to me? The doctor said, John C, it seems, has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her. A good doctor, I think I have said this to you before. If not, I'll say it once again. A good doctor, if when a patient gets into his cabin to meet him or to consult him, first a very good doctor tries to make the patient comfortable. Okay. Hmm? നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഡോക്ടറെ അടുത്ത് പോയി നല്ലൊരു ഡോക്ടറെ അടുത്ത് പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ ഡോക്ടർക്ക് ആദ്യം തന്നെ ആ ഒരു പേഷ്യന്റിനെ കംഫർട്ടബിൾ ആക്കാനായിട്ട് വെരി ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി ആയിട്ട് വളരെ സൗഹാർദ്ദപൂർവ്വം പെരുമാറുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പാതി അസുഖം നമുക്ക് അവിടെ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്. അപ്പം ഈ ഡോക്ടർ പറയുന്നത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളെ പകുതി അസുഖങ്ങളും മരുന്ന് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ മാറണമെന്നില്ല. ശരിക്കും നമുക്ക് ഉള്ളിൽ ഒരു വിശ്വാസം ഉണ്ടാവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇഫ് വി ബിലീവ് ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ബി ഓക്കെ, ഇഫ് യു ഡോണ്ട് കീപ് വറിയിങ്, ചെറിയൊരു അസുഖം വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും അയ്യോ ഞാനിതാ പോന്നേ സമയ എന്നൊക്കെ പാടി കഴിഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാല് മൊത്തം ആ പാട്ടൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും മനസ്സിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും അസുഖം വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, അല്ലേ? ഫുൾ ടൈം. So when you when you believe that you are not going to be well, no medicine will work for you. That is what the doctor says. If she doesn't want to live, if the belief or if the confidence in you to live is gone, then no medicine in this world will be able to cure you. That is what the doctor says. So first of all, if you have a problem, or if you have a disease, or if you have a condition, believe that it will be okay. Don't lose that positive sense of mind. Don't be negative. If you be positive, if you keep positivity in your life, you will feel that the medicines are doing wonders. So, when you are becoming negative, there will be a chemical reaction inside you, and no medicine will be able to cure that that is happening. Believe in yourself. Believe that you will be okay one day. Believe in the doctor. Then medicines will work wonder. Okay. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her at all. That's what the doctor says. She tried her best to make Jaunty take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but Jaunty did not respond. Jaunty continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Jaunty's room and started painting. To take Jaunty's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. So, Sue, being a very good roommate as well as a very good comrade or a friend, she started to get, or she tried to get the confidence level of John C. up a little bit by doing something that John C. also likes. They were artists. So what she did is she tried her level best to get John C. interested in certain things around her. And first, she started talking about clothes and fashions, girls, right? They like. That is what this is written by a man. Okay, so he thinks like a man. So he believes that girls are always interested in clothes and fashion things. Yes, some of them are. I'm not saying that all of them are interested in all these things, but some of them are, right? So just like that, Sue also tries to talk about clothes and fashion, but nothing brought up confidence in Johnson. He was the same. Then Johnsy, what she did is she is still lying in her bed. She's not getting up from her bed. She was believing that she's going to die, and she was negativity didn't leave her at all. She brought her drawing board. She was an artist. She was an artist. Johnsy too was an artist. They both were artists. They like to do drawing very much. So what Sue did is she brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting from there, so that this will interest Johnsy. She thought that that will interest Johnsy a lot, but it didn't. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she started whistling while drawing. Okay. പല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തു നോക്കി Sue, but Johnsy was not at all. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backwards. She was looking out of the window and was saying, 12. After some time, she whispered, 11, then 10, then 9, 8, 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite a window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its. അപ്പോ ക്രീപ്പർ എന്നാ നേരത്തെ കാണിച്ചു തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു ചിത്രം. ഓക്കെ, വരയ്ക്കുകയാണ്. സിയു ഇരുന്നിട്ട് ജോൺസിയുടെ തൊട്ടടുത്ത് ഇരുന്ന് ഷീസ് ഡ്രോയിങ്. ഷീസ് ട്രൈങ് ടു ടേക്ക് ജോൺസിസ് മൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് her disease and bring it back to something in that interests her. Okay, and she was trying several things. She tried clothes, fashion, that didn't interest John C. Then she tried to bring in her drawing board and started drawing from there and whistling, but that also didn't deter John C. from what she was thinking. But suddenly she heard John C. saying something. She was whispering something, and that interested Sue, and she went near to Johnsy and listened very carefully, and she heard that she was counting backwards. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Like this, she was counting backwards and looking outside the window. Okay. And Sue was really surprised by this. She looked outside and saw an ivy creeper that was climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite to their window. The strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. The leaves were falling one by one. That is what Johnsy was counting from her bed, looking outside. What is it, dear? She asked. Six, whispered Johnsy. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100 leaves. There are only five left now, Johnsy said. What is it? She was really confused. What is going on with Johnsy? He is counting backwards, looking outside the window at the creeper and counting backwards. What is it, dear? She asked Johnsy. And Johnsy replied with a number six. One more fell. They are falling faster now, he says. So her mind also was falling, or her confidence level also was falling, just like the leaves that were falling from the creeper. 3 days ago, there were almost 100 leaves. 100 leaves ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഉടനെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ഇപ്പോൾ ആ ഇലകളൊക്കെ ഒഴിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. There are only five left now. Only five left. Suddenly they are falling. Yeah, they are falling very fast. Just like that, I am also going to fall. That is what John C. believes. It is autumn, Sue says. Okay, it is autumn. November. It's autumn season. This is when all the plants shed their leaves. What is in that? It happens. It's nature. Okay. It is supposed to happen. It is autumn, said Sue, and the leaves will fall. ഇതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ശിശിരകാലമാണ്. അപ്പോ ശിശിരകാലത്ത് എന്താണ്? ഇതൊക്കെ വീഴും. അതാണല്ലോ അതാണല്ലോ നിയമം, അല്ലേ? പ്രകൃതിയുടെ നിയമം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ലോ ഓഫ് നേച്ചർ ഇസ് സച്ച്, സോ ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് fall. If it doesn't fall, അതാണല്ലോ സർപ്രൈസ്. When the last leaf falls, Johnsy says, when the last leaf falls, I will die, said Johnsy with finality. I have known this for the last 3 days. ഡിപ്രഷനിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ് ജോൺസി. He's going into a state of depression. കാരണം there was an epidemic going around, and her confidence level crashed when she contracted pneumonia. Many people might be dying around her. She might have heard the news from different parts of the country that many people have died of pneumonia. Once you contract it, you will not be safe. So Johnsy have been listening to all these, might have been listening to all these newses, and when suddenly she got hold of pneumonia, her confidence level shattered then and there. She said, when the last leaf falls, if she was comparing her life to the life of the ivy creeper over there, opposite to her window, there was a wall. On that wall, this ivy creeper was growing. And 3 days before, there were hundreds and hundreds of leaves on that creeper. Suddenly, within 3 days, there is only five left on that creeper. He started associating her life going away from her with the leaves falling from the ivy creeper. So she says, when the last leaf falls, I will die, said Johnsy with finality. ഉറപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ടാണ് പറയുന്നത്. I have known this for the last 3 days. So I have been thinking about death for the last 3 days. I'm waiting for my death to happen. Oh, that's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with you? You are getting well? Doctor is confident that you will get better. മണ്ടത്തരമാണ് അത് പറയുന്നത്. Sue replied, what have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? There is nothing related between these two things. It's an old ivy leaf. It's autumn. They are supposed to fall. The leaves are supposed to fall in autumn season. So what is there? What is related with the ivy creeper and you're getting well? Even the doctor is confident that you will get well if you take the medicine and believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you will get very well soon. You just have to believe in yourself. There's nothing to do with that ivy leaf falling. Johnsy did not say anything. She went and brought her a bowl of soup. കുടിക്കാനായി ഒരു പാത്രത്തിൽ സൂപ്പ് കൊണ്ടു കൊടുത്തു. Johnsy was not interested. I don't want any soup, said Johnsy. I'm not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will sleep forever. എനിക്ക് സൂപ്പും കൂപ്പൊന്നും വേണ്ട. എനിക്ക് വിശപ്പുമില്ല. Because she has already ഉറപ്പിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഞാൻ മരിക്കാൻ പോവുക എന്നുള്ളത്. She believed that he's going to die. And she wanted to see the last leaf fall and see that her life is draining out of her body. So, അങ്ങനെ ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് വിശപ്പും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, നമുക്കൊരു ചിന്ത ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, ഒരു കാര്യവും നമുക്ക് ശരിയായ നടക്കില്ല. കാരണം നമ്മൾ when we are aware of our death, we are not interested in it. 2 രീതിയിൽ ആൾക്കാർ പെരുമാറും. നേരെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടും പെരുമാറും. എല്ലാം തകർത്ത് കളയാമെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കും. ചുറ്റുപാടത്തുള്ള എല്ലായിടത്തും എനിക്ക് കിട്ടാത്തത് വേറെ ആർക്കും കിട്ടും. അടി പോളി. അങ്ങനെയും ഉണ്ട് ആൾക്കാര്. ചില ആൾക്കാർ എന്താണ് മൊത്തം പോയി, അയ്യോ പോയി, ഞാനിതാ പോണേ, എനിക്കൊന്നിനും വയ്യ, ഞാനിവിടെ ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് പോയിക്കോളാം എന്നൊക്കെ വിചാരിക്കും. അങ്ങനെ വിചാരിക്കുന്നതാണ് ജോൺസി. ഷീ ഈസ് നോട്ട് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റഡ് ഇൻ എനിത്തിങ്. സൂപ്പോ വേണ്ട, വിശപ്പില്ല, ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ കഴിച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാനാണ്, ഞാൻ മരിക്കാൻ പോവല്ലേ എന്നാണ് ജോൺസി പറയുന്നത്. Now there are only 4 leaves. ആ സൂപ്പ് എടുക്കാൻ പോയ സമയത്ത് ഒരു ലീഫും കൂടെ പോയി. വേണ്ട 4 ലീഫാണ്. എനിക്ക് അവസാനത്തെ ലീഫ് വീഴുന്നതും കാണണം. ബിഫോർ ഇറ്റ് ഗെറ്റ്സ് ഡാർക്ക്. അപ്പം കണക്കൂട്ടി കഴിഞ്ഞു. She had already made all the calculations. Before the dark itself, the last leaf will fall. I will see that and I will die. And then I will sleep forever. എപ്പോഴേക്കുമുള്ള എന്നേക്കുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഉറക്കമാണ് മരണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു അല്ലെ? അതുപോലെയാണ്. He will sleep forever. He will not wake up at all. Sue sat on Johnsey's bed, kissed her and said, "You are not going to die. I can't draw the curtain for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear. Please, my dear friend," she begged Johnsey. "Promise not to look out of the window while I paint." Sue was trying her level best to get the confidence level of Johnsey back. Okay, she was trying to enlighten her, or she was trying to lighten the mood, and she was trying to make her happy, cheer up, but she was not successful. So she tried to bring her some soup and make her drink the soup so that she can get that energy back. That also was rejected by Johnsey. So at last, he sat at Johnsey's bedside and gave her a kiss and said, "You are not going to die, my dear friend. But you have to cooperate with me. See, I can't draw the curtain for..." See, നീ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് ഈ വിൻഡോ ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തേ മതിയാവും. പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റില്ല, കാരണം എനിക്ക് ജോലി ചെയ്തേ മതിയാവുള്ളൂ. ഞാൻ ജോലി ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് കുറച്ചൊക്കെ കാശുണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. I want to finish the painting and get money for us. Pay the doctor, to pay their day-to-day life. Okay, for things in day-to-day life, we have to make money for that. So I need to draw painting. This painting, I have to finish this painting. So I cannot draw the curtain, which means I cannot close the curtain. For I need the light. I need the light to work on my painting. Please, my dear friend, She begged Johnsy, promise not to look out of the window while I paint. ഞാൻ വരയ്ക്കുന്നത് വരെ, വരച്ച് തീരുന്നത് വരെ ഈ പുറത്തേക്കൊന്നും നോക്കാതെ അടങ്ങി ഒതുങ്ങി ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കണം കേട്ടോ, പ്ലീസ്. All right, said John. Finish your painting, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I'm tired of waiting. I have to die. So let me go away peacefully, like one of those poor, tired. ശരി ശരി, എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് നിന്റെ ആ പെയിന്റിംഗ് ഒന്ന് തീർക്ക്. എനിക്ക് ആ അവസാനത്തെ ലീഫ് വീഴുന്നൊന്ന് കാണണം. എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ കാത്തിരുന്ന് ഞാൻ മടുത്തു. എനിക്ക് മരിക്കണം. അതുകൊണ്ട് എന്നെ സമാധാനത്തോടു കൂടി പോവാൻ അനുവദിക്കണം. ആ ഒരു പാവപ്പെട്ട കുറെ ലീഫുകൾ കുറെ വീണല്ലോ, ആ ലീവ്സ് ഒക്കെ വീഴുന്നത് പോലെ എന്റെ ജീവിതവും കൊഴിഞ്ഞു പോകട്ടെ. എന്നെ അനുവദിക്കൂ, കൊഴിഞ്ഞു പോവാനായി എന്നെ അനുവദിക്കൂ എന്നാണ് ജോൺസി പറയുന്നത്. Sue tells Johnsy she is not getting angry with Johnsy because she's in a very bad condition. Sue knows that. Okay, so she comforts Johnsy and tells, "Try to sleep," said Sue. "I have to paint an old miner. I will call Berman up to be my model." ഉറങ്ങാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. I have to paint an old miner. ഒരു പഴയ ഒരു മൈനറിനെയാണ്. മൈനർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? Who's a miner? A person who mines. Okay, goes into the mine and mines for precious metal or anything like that. Okay, so she wants to paint an old miner. That is what someone has said to her. Paint an old miner and we will buy that painting from you. So she's trying to paint an old miner. So she needs a person to sit as a model. Okay, just a person to sit as a model and she will draw the other things. So she wants to call Berman, the third character in the lesson or in the story. And she wants to call Mr. Berman up to be my model. She wants to go down and call him up. Sue rushed down. And Sue suddenly went down. So Berman lived on the ground floor. താഴെ ഇതിലാണ് താഴെയുള്ള ഫ്ലോറിലാണ് ബർമൻ താമസിക്കുന്നത്. ഇവര് മൂന്നാമത്തെ ഫ്ലോറിലാണ്, താഴെയാണ് ബർമൻ താമസിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, so she went down to call him up and make him sit as a model so that she can draw. He was a 60-year-old painter. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു വീട് മൊത്തം പെയിന്റേഴ്സ് കൊണ്ട് നിറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയെന്നാ തോന്നുന്നത്. കാരണം ബർമാനും ഒരു പെയിന്ററാണ്, 60 വയസ്സുള്ളൊരു പെയിന്ററാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ambition ഉണ്ട്. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. 60 വയസ്സായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പെയിന്ററാണ്. He has got a dream in his life to create a masterpiece. Masterpiece എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? What is a masterpiece? One of a kind. അങ്ങനത്തെ വേറെ ഒന്നും തന്നെ ഇല്ല. മാസ്റ്റർ പീസസ്, മൈക്കൽ ആഞ്ചലോ, അതേപോലെ ലിയോനാർഡോ ഡാവിൻചി എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന കുറെ പെയിന്റേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, സ്കൾപ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് പെയിന്റേഴ്സ്. അവരൊക്കെ, പിക്കാസോ എന്ന് പറയുന്നവരൊക്കെ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് വൺ ഓഫ് എ കൈൻഡ്. അതുപോലെ വേറൊരാൾക്കും സൃഷ്ടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്നുള്ളൊരു സംഭവം. റെപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, പക്ഷെ അത് അദ്ദേഹം ചെയ്തതായിരിക്കില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒറിജിനലിനെ വെല്ലുന്ന ഒന്നും തന്നെ സംഭവിക്കാറില്ല സാധാരണ. റൈറ്റ്, മാസ്റ്റർ പീസസ്. So his lifelong desire was to create a masterpiece, one of a kind painting. But his dream has remained a dream till now. 60 വയസ്സായിട്ട് പോലും ആ ഒരു ഡ്രീം പൂർത്തീകരിക്കാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്. He was such a person. Okay. She poured out her worries to Berman. So Sue went down to call Berman, and while she went down, she told everything to Berman about Johnsy, what is happening in the life of Johnsy, how she was reacting to the present situation. The scenario was told. She poured out. സങ്കടം മുഴുവൻ കൊട്ടി മുമ്പിലേക്ക് എടുത്തിട്ട് കൊട്ടി. ബർമാന്റെ മുമ്പിലേക്ക് എടുത്തിട്ട് കൊട്ടി. She poured it out. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. അവസാനത്തെ ആ ഒരു ഇല കൂടി വീണ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എങ്ങനെ ജോൺസി മരിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നു എന്നുള്ള ജോൺസിയുടെ ചിന്ത, അസ്ഥാനത്തുള്ള ചിന്ത, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വിഡ്ഢിതരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ചിന്ത, അതുകൂടി ബർമാന്റെ അടുത്ത് സ്യൂ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. ഓബ്വിയസ്ലി നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരുടെയും മനസ്സിൽ കൂടെ ഓടിയ ഒരു ചോദ്യമാണ്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ബർമാനും ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. നമ്മളെന്താ മണ്ടിയാണ്? How can she be so foolish? ഇത്രയും വിഡ്ഢിത്തരമൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ വിളിച്ചു പറയുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? She is running a high temperature, complains Sue. He refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. അവൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ആയിരുന്നില്ല, പക്ഷേ ഷീസ് റണ്ണിങ് എ ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ഫ്രേസ്. ഓക്കെ, റണ്ണിങ് എ ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മീൻസ് ഓടുകയല്ല കേട്ടോ. ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ അവള് ഓടുകയല്ല എന്നാണ്. അങ്ങനെയല്ല അവിടെ. ടു ഹാവ് എൻ അബ്നോർമലി ഹൈ ബോഡി ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഫീവർ, ഓക്കെ, വിച്ച് ഈസ് ഇൻഡിക്കേറ്റീവ് ഓഫ് കോസ്ഡ് ബൈ ഇൽനെസ്. ന്യൂമോണിയ കാരണം അവൾക്ക് ഇതാണ്. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള സമയത്ത് ചുറ്റും പെയ്യും പറയും ആൾക്കാർ. ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ അബ്നോർമൽ ആവുന്ന സമയത്ത് ചുറ്റും പെയ്യും പറയും ജനങ്ങൾ, അല്ലേ? അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്? When you are abnormal, you start to say foolish things because you are not able to think properly. Just like that, Johnsy also she is running a high temperature, so she is not able to think properly, complained Sue. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a bit. Not eating or drinking properly. Her health is deteriorating day by day, and that worries Sue a lot. I will come with you and see Johnson, Berman said. അപ്പൊ ബർമാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ഓക്കെ, ഞാനും കൂടെ വരാം, ഞാനും കൂടെ ജോൺസിനെ കാണാനായിട്ട് കൂടെ വരാം. They tiptoed into the room. Johnsy was sleeping. Sue drew the curtains together and they went to the next room. അപ്പൊ ഉറങ്ങിക്കോളാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് താഴത്തേക്ക് വന്നത് സ്യൂ, അല്ലെ? തിരിച്ചങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് അവര് റൂമിലേക്ക് പോയപ്പോ പതിയെ അവര് റൂമിലേക്ക് പോയി നോക്കിയപ്പോ ജോൺസി നല്ല ഉറക്കമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് സ്യൂ എന്ത് ചെയ്ത് ഉടൻ തന്നെ കർട്ടൻ അങ്ങ് ഇട്ട് മൂടി വിൻഡോ. ഇനി ഇടക്കാറ്റ് എണീച്ചിട്ട് പുറത്തേക്ക് നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ രാവിലെ ഈ ഫാറ്റ വീട് കടന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തീർന്നില്ലേ കാര്യം. അത് കാണണ്ടെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് drew the curtain together and they went to the next room. തൊട്ടടുത്ത റൂമിലേക്ക് അവർ രണ്ടുപേരും പോയി. Peeped out through the window. പുറത്തേക്ക് നോക്കി. അപ്പുറത്തെ റൂമിൽ പോയിട്ട് പുറത്തേക്ക് നോക്കി. There was only one leaf on the curtain. അപ്പോഴാണ് കാണുന്നത് ആ ഒരൊറ്റ ലീഫ് മാത്രമേ ബാക്കിയുള്ളൂ. And it was raining heavily and an icy cold wind was blowing. ഇത്രയും നേരം എന്താണ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് ജോൺസി? അവസാനത്തെ ലീഫ് വീണ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ മരിച്ചു പോകും എന്നാണ് ജോൺസി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ സ്യൂ പുറത്തേക്ക് നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ എന്താണ്? ആകെ ഒരൊറ്റ ലീഫ് മാത്രമേ പറഞ്ഞുള്ളൂ. There was only one leaf left on the creeper and it was raining very heavily and an icy cold wind was blowing. അതൊരു കാലാവസ്ഥയായിരുന്നു. ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും ആ അവസാനത്തെ ലീഫും ഒഴിഞ്ഞു പോകും എന്നുള്ളൊരു സ്ഥിതി വിശേഷമാണ് അവിടെ ഉള്ളത്. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute. ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കാലാവസ്ഥയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്? Obviously, the last leaf will fall. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. Berman did not say a word. He went back to his. ബർമാൻ ഇത് കണ്ടു, സ്യൂ ഇത് മനസ്സിലാക്കി എന്നുള്ളത് ബർമാനും മനസ്സിലാക്കി. സ്യൂയ്ക്ക് ചെറുതായിട്ട് അവളുടെ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ലെവലും കുറയാൻ തുടങ്ങി. അപ്പം ബർമാൻ ഒന്നും മിണ്ടാതെ തിരിച്ച് ബർമാന്റെ റൂമിലേക്ക് തിരിച്ച് പോവുകയാണ്. So what happens after that is a suspense. We'll continue in the next class. Okay, so we will stop over here and we will continue in the next class. Wait till the next class. Thank you very much, all of you. Have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe, live well, and bye-bye.